Australia Cup champions.
Serbia FC, they win the cup.
The home of the Matildas in Bundoora in Melbourne's north. It is the home of Australia's favourite sporting side. It's been the home of the Reggae Girls, Jamaica, during the Women's World Cup. Home to NPL Grand Finals, Doherty Cup Finals, Nike FC Cup Finals, and tonight it is once again home of the Australia Cup as FC Melbourne Serbia, the lowest ranked side in this competition this year from the VPL 2 League, gets set to play host to high-flying South Australian outfit, the Modbury Jets. Last week we saw on this very pitch the Oakley Cannons score what has been the biggest cup set so far in the 2024 Australia Cup when they took out a victory over Sydney FC, and tonight Melbourne Serbia, well, it won't quite be the magic of a member-fed side upsetting an A-League club, but for this side from central Melbourne playing their games nominally at Kevin Bartlett Reserve, this is an opportunity to continue to write what has been some magnificent history for the club in recent years. For the Modbury Jets, well, it's a very busy time for them. They're neck and neck in a race for the premiership in the NPL South Australia competition. They flew in today just a few days after falling 4-3 to the Adelaide Croatia Raiders in what was a barnstorming contest over there in sodden conditions in South Australia. And now they are tasked with, well, shutting down the magic, so to speak, of Melbourne Serbia, who, well, they've got a big in Melbourne Serbia in the form of their leading man, Luka Ninkovic, back into the starting 11. He had been suspended in recent weeks, but, well, there's a bit of a story with that one. We'll take you through later. But Jared Hill also will don the gloves in goal coming into the side after a 3-1 loss to Pascavale last week. And there's a change in the captaincy as well. Tomas Lakic starts on the bench, which means that in his place, Milos Ilic will captain the side for coach Zeljko Popovic. So they've already scored promotion to the VPL 1, has Melbourne Serbia, and now looking to, well, add a bit more history as we see the Modbury Jets. A few changes for them as well following their 4-3 loss to the Adelaide Croatia Rangers last week. A couple of outs as well. Paul Wilson drops out of the side. Jordan O'Doherty of A-League men fame with the likes of Adelaide United, Western Sydney Wanderers and the Newcastle Jets. He continues to miss with injury, but they do have some proper firepower up front in the form of Francesco Scamizzi as well as Hamish McCabe, two of the leading goal scorers in the NPL South Australia competition this season. Scamizzi, in fact, is second in the Golden Boot race with 14 goals in league play, and he's chimed in with a couple in the Australia Cup as well. So, well, Melbourne Serbia, they've got the best defence in the VPL2, and that's certainly going to be tested this evening against the Jets. As we see on your screen there, Zeljko Popovic, the coach of Melbourne Serbia, led them to promotion into the VPL2 in his first season in 2023, has now guided them into the VPL1 in his second. Lord knows what he's got planned for the season after that. Montenegrin born, had some stints with Besiktas and Portsmouth in the like during his career trials. As we see Zijad Amatovic, who will be taking control of the game today, posing with the captains. It's been a remarkable rise, in fact, for Zeljko Popovic, the coach. He came out to Australia and played around the VPL before moving into coaching after an ACL injury. As we see there, Maurice Natale, the head coach of the Modbury Jets, he too has overseen a rapid rise since taking over at his club, the Modbury Jets, guiding them back into the NPL South Australia, leading them to the national stages of the Australia Cup a couple of years ago, the grand final of the NPL South Australia competition last year, and now back to the national stages this time around. So two sides with not a lot to lose. They both want to have some fun, put on a good show tonight, and that hopefully bodes well for us here at the home of the Matildas. As I'm joined up here in, well, he's rugged up very warm, Archie Thompson. He doesn't look like he's enjoying the cold, but hopefully he's ready to enjoy what should be a good game tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. I was here last week for that cup upset, but it's definitely not as windy. The rain's not obviously falling tonight, but it is quite freezing here in Melbourne. Two very good teams. one doing well in their domestic league in Adelaide. They've got a game on Friday, which if they win that...
Well, as we'll briefly pause as well, the Jets coming forward very early, and the ball is just going to be poked away there. Skemezy flashing early warning signs as he tries to ghost in behind.
Yeah, look, just saying that there is a game on Friday night that Modbury, if they win, rely on another result, they could win that competition. And for Melbourne Serbia, like you said, they've gained promotion to the VPL 1. Bit of a shaky start for Melbourne Serbia. You can see the pressure that Modbury are already putting on.
Hamish McCabe there getting up and applying the pressure. He's got a twin brother on the bench in the form of Liam McCabe. Brothers on the pitch for Melbourne Serbia as well in the form of Milos Ilic and Maxi Milic.
As you can just see from that replay, Skemezy using his pace in behind. You can see why that he's probably one of the leading goal scorers in Adelaide. I don't know what happened there. I think he might have been just offside.
Well, do you think it's a top flight South Australian side coming to a third tier in Victoria side, just trying to lay down a marker early and just sort of put a bit of fear in them?
Yeah, I think it's important for a team that's probably maybe a little bit favourite in terms of the level that they play at, wanting to take control of the game, to show that this Melbourne Serbia team that they're here to play. But like you said, you've got one attacking team that's doing quite well in terms of scoring goals, scored the most goals in the Adelaide competition, where have you got the best competition in the VPL too. So it'll be testy times both for what teams will want to settle nice and early.
Indeed. Well, it's funny, both of these sides have the same goal difference, plus 20, but Modbury Jets in NPL South Australia, they've scored 51 goals, conceded 31. Meanwhile, Melbourne Serbia, they have conceded the least goals in the VPL 1 competition, only 18 this season. So there's been a very stout defensive effort from Melbourne Serbia, and even accounting that 3 of those goals they conceded was last week against Pascoe, where there was a hastily reorganised fixture and they'd secured promotion just the week before. So maybe their head's not quite in that one. As we see the hosts trying to come up with something. Instead, they're going to have to get back now, as again, in the form of Hamish McCabe, the Jets coming forward with intent and with pace. It's McCabe at the top of the box. His effort takes a deflection and it's collected by Hill. But there we go, Arch. The pace of the Modbury Jets. It's going to be dangerous tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's where Melbourne Serbia need to be careful when they do attack, because there was one direct ball in behind. You could see that Hamish McCabe with a lovely run got the speed out in these wide areas. Skemezy, Hamish McCabe, you look that they're the ones that are going to get the balls on the counter.
Nenad Nikolic sending that ball forward, unable to chase it down was Michael Basic, as we see the replay. And just Hamish McCabe, he's a former Sergio Melter medalist in the NPL South Australia competition, and certainly has flashed a few danger signs early. The ball is going to be kept in by Melbourne Serbia, and the loose ball will favour them as Cameron Davis comes away with it, looking upfield in the direction of Luka Ninkovic. Nothing doing, as here comes McCabe once again. Hamish McCabe, just look at him burst forward as he's going to send the ball across, and it's the opening goal of the game. Francesco Skemezy, just like that, the Jets are soaring at the home of the Matildas. Striking early, striking fast, and striking true.
As you can see on this replay, again, it was that strong running by Hamish McCabe, taking on players. Did ever so well to cut it low and hard across that 6-yard box. And the informed striker, Skemezy, just gets in front of his defender. Serbia be disappointed. Melbourne Serbia disappointed. They didn't really lay a tackle or a glove really on Hamish McCabe to allow him to get into that 18-yard box, but not the start that Melbourne Serbia would wanted.
Well, Francesco Skemezy signed with the Modbury Jets for the 2024 season. He'd been scoring for fun for the Metro Stars in the years prior for that, for their youth sides. Scored 18 goals in 2023 across their various reserves and under-18s units. And now he has netted the goal that has the South Australians ahead early, just 4 minutes in. And again, they're getting a bit greedy, are the Jets. They want two in a hurry.
Really are putting a lot of high pressure up on this Melbourne side. And again, that goal really just came from nothing. A long ball, forward, and just cleared, and then a lot of space for Hamish McCabe. And as we can see again on that replay, a beautiful low hard ball across the 6-yard box. When you do get yourselves in that position, you want to hit it hard because you don't know if your striker's going to get it, but when a defender comes in, it can get, you know, an own goal. So beautifully played.
Well, Melbourne, Serbia put back on their heels early, but they have shown resolve this season. The coach Željko Popovic has talked about how, well, they like to win well and they like to win games playing good football, but they are willing to fight, they are willing to scrap, they are willing to put in the hard yards as they come forward here trying to work their way through the Jets, putting balls into each other as well, and it's going to result in another attack breaking down. Francesca putting it across and then loops forward by Daniel De Troya. Goes out for a throw-in for Melbourne, Serbia. And if anything, they might just want to try to put their boot on the ball and slow things down. It's been fast and furious.
Yeah, it certainly has, and I think it's down to the pressure of Modbury putting on this Melbourne Serbia side.
And that long ball forward loops speculatively in the direction of Luka Ninkovic, but Tim Henderson back in the side after missing the loss to the Raiders with a bit of illness, just shepherding it out for a goal kick. Ryan Brown trying to get things going for Serbia, and he's done well, showing hustle. And just getting across was Matthew Mullen, a venerable veteran of this side for the Modbury Jets, the 35-year-old. It's part of Adelaide United set up in 2007 to 2011, so you might have played against him, Arch.
Yeah, I probably did.
That ball is looped in. Serbia couldn't get a clean touch on it, but they can have another go.
Never really liked to remember too many of the Adelaide players, to be honest, mate.
Looking forward to the re-establishment of the original rivalry this season. So their fixture announcement video they put out on their socials earlier, Adelaide United, disparaging about Victorians in general.
It's a really hate-hate relationship. I don't think there's any love in that. You can see, though, with Modbury, they're not taking any risks at all at playing out. They're just looking, when they get that ball, to hit those players up in that forward line and try to get players around them.
Do you think that's because they would know that, you know, Željko Popovic, he likes to do his film study, started doing a lot of film study and taking it through it since he arrived at Melbourne, Serbia. They'll know that he'll have his side ready to get set up in shape if given the chance, and they want to deny them that. Well, hold on, we'll stick with players. Ninkovic! What a save! Ryan Neal just sticking a big paw out and denying Ninkovic an equaliser.
Well, he just found himself a little bit of space on the top of that 18-yard box there. Was able to get a turn in, had ample amount of time, really just to pick out his place, or pick out his spot. And what a wonderful save by Jared Hill. Neil, I'll get that right.
As here comes Serbia again. Good passage of play for them, and well, almost turns into his own net by Timothy Henderson. Living dangerously.
This is a great little spell from Melbourne, Serbia. A dangerous ball into the 18-yard box. Always risky when the ball bounces in front of you as a defender. He does well to defend that and flick that over the crossbar. Good signs for Melbourne, Serbia.
Indeed, responding just as Željko Popovic would have wanted them to as they swing in this corner. Getting a slight touch on it was Ryan Neal, which means that we can have another go, this time from the opposite side of the park. Nenad Nikolic getting set to take this one.
So the keeper just get a nice little glove to it. The wind is favouring Melbourne Serbia on this side. So those swinging crosses in, keeper needs to be wary.
So big paint forms. Ball gets swung in and getting up to claim it was kneeled in front of Ninkovic. Luka Ninkovic, no relation to Miloš Ninkovic, but he is one of the more highly credentialed players in this Melbourne Serbia side. Came across for the 2024 campaign after splitting time between the Bentley Greens and South Melbourne last season. Originally from West Australia, came to Victoria in 2019 when he signed with Heidelberg. As here come Melbourne Serbia again. Real purple patch in the game for them, as that's a dangerous ball in, but unable to just get his boot on top of it was Ryan Brown.
A beautiful touch out on this wide side by Campana. You can see here he just drifts out to these wide areas. Great little touch. And that ball that was played in was just probably at a height where he needed to sort of come down with the laces. He almost tried to do it with the inside of the foot. But like you said, this is probably the response that the manager wanted, especially after conceding so early.
And we'll see how Maurice Natale responds in the Jets dugout. He would have got the early goal that he wanted, especially with potentially one eye on a huge game against Campbelltown City in the NPL South Australia competition this Friday. The Jets must win that game if they want to win the premiership. Now once again going to have to defend. Marko Basic carrying the ball forward. Fancy footwork from Basic as he opens up an angle, gets the ball in. Appeals for a penalty from the vocal Serbia contingent in the grandstands. Waved away by Zijad Amatovic. And it peters out at the feet of Ryan Neild.
A beautiful feet out in this wide area by Marko Basic. Great delivery too from his weaker side foot. As we can see here, see what the screams are for.
Ooh, potentially did that come off the arm of Lachlan Wilson? What do you think, Arch? We don't have VAR.
Yeah.
It's video Archie review.
No comment. No, I don't think there was a touch in there. But you can see that Melbourne Serbia are starting to really string some passes together. You see that confidence is starting to build a little bit.
Indeed, because it would have been so easy for them to go to pieces after shipping an early goal, wouldn't it? But they've responded really well.
Brilliantly.
He's now trying to work the ball around their back line, but you can see the Jets with that press that led to the early goal. Once again trying to get it through, but almost trying to get him behind. Enzo Campagna battling for it. All still on the turf, and it's eventually going to come out for a free kick for the Jets. And, well, the boos ring out at the home of the Matildas.
Yeah, right there in front of a nice little Serbian section of the crowd. I thought that the Modbury player fell on the ball and handballed it.
And that ball is going to get whipped in towards the waiting Skamizi at the back post. Couldn't find him. And he's going to pop up, winning the ball back for his side. He's got one, looking for a second, but flashing the shot across the face of goal. As we can see on the possession stats, well, Melbourne Serbia, 67% of the ball, Archie. So really, the Jets got their goal, and now they're looking to maybe hit in transition.
Well, yeah, like I said, when they do win possession back, Modbury, they look to go long, but at the moment, probably this last sort of five minutes, the possession has really been with Melbourne Serbia, the way they are starting to really play some nice little interchanging football. Like you said, conceding an early goal, you think that a lesser team would probably, shy away from playing the football that they're capable of, but, no, they're certainly well in this match.
As here comes Melbourne Serbia once again, working their way through the pressure. Well, that is not what they would have wanted. Nenad Nikolic putting the ball out. The Jets, though, will take heart from that early goal because they have conceded just a single time on their run through the various qualifying stages of the Australia Cup. Here they come forward once again. Pass deflected away, cleared away by Serbia, and indeed that one goal that they did concede in their run throughout the Australia Cup, it was a consolation goal, a 93rd minute penalty scored by Adelaide victory to make it 2-1. So it wasn't a goal of much actual, well, stakes attached to it. Would you take a softer view of South Australians if they played for Adelaide Victory, Arch?
Yes, maybe.
Have to be a brave lot to name a team that.
Exactly.
Well, knocked forward off the head of Ninkovic, and now Ryan Brown trying to steam through and collect it. Loose ball up for grabs. Claimed by Daniel De Troya, knocking it out. Connor Lees can have himself a throw-in on that far side of the park.
It's a great little flick on by Luka Ninkovic. Ryan Brown showed some real pace there, was unlucky not to get in front of the player.
Has that ball intended for Brown, headed away.
You can see on the replay, he's a big boy, Luka Ninkovic, and great speed.
Ninkovic trying to hold the play up there and just flick a teammate on. Not quite successful with it, but Serbia doing their best to lock the Jets in their own half of the pitch. Marko Basic coming up with it. Has Nenad Nikolic in front of him. That's where the ball goes. Player's going to arrive in the middle. Nikolic just floats something up, and it's headed away by De Troya. That inferred pressure maybe from this Serbia purple patch, Archie. He didn't know who was behind him, so he just put it out. I know, but it sailed out anyway.
Yeah, look, I think, especially in those sort of positions, you want to be cautious. You don't know where your attacker is. It didn't look like the ball actually went out, to be honest.
It obviously fooled me. So you go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say, a lot of these balls that are coming in are coming onto this left-hand side.
Nenad Nikolic and Marko Basic working together on the left flank for Melbourne, Serbia. Nenad Nikolic spent some time in the Melbourne City Academy. Here come the Jets, trying to work their own way down the left. Both sides want it, and it's going to be a corner for the visitors. So we've seen the speed at which the Jets can work. Now we get an opportunity for them to throw some tall timber forward. So one man on the goalkeeper. McCabe's going to make a run short, and that's where it's going to go. All around the corner, headed away by Ninkovic. And Serbia can have themselves a throw-in.
It's a great little set piece. That little touch to his right side by Hamish McCabe, I think it was, really fooled the Melbourne Serbia defender. Just needed a little bit more quality into the ball in behind.
As you can see there, 18 final third entries to Melbourne Serbia in this game, 9 to the Modbury Jets. So Serbia knocking on the door of Ryan Neal and the Modbury Jets, but the South Australians doing a fine job of, well, not answering thus far. As they have themselves a throw-in on this left flank. Daniel De Troya, long-time member of the Modbury Jets. Back in 2017 from the Adelaide Blue Eagles. As here come Melbourne Serbia. Is this the moment? No. Scrambled away by the Jets. And then, as you might be able to tell from the boos, it's going to be a free kick.
I think it was De Troya again, just made that last ditch tackle on Ryan Brown.
A bit of space for the Jets to operate in on the left. Players arriving in the box. Looking for McCabe at the top of the penalty area. Couldn't get to him. All scoot through for Dion Kirk. For Ninkovic. There's Henderson at his back. And will be a throw into the Jets.
I do like the power running of Ryan Brown, especially out in these wide areas, chasing the ball in behind.
Ninkovic doing very well to turn. And trying to slide it through for Maximilic. Set him a task, but he met it. Marko Basic on the left. And Nikolic's overlapping run gets ignored as he turns central. Now works its way out to Nikolic. Left-footed delivery. Headed away to the top of the box. Campagna kept play alive, but then Ryan Brown able to just wrangle that delivery.
Again, it was beautiful lead-up play. Again, it was Basic with the beautiful feet. Sends his defender one way, and the link-up play, getting these wide positions, especially out on his left-hand side. Great ball. Probably for Ryan Brown just to anticipate that a little bit more, maybe attack it. You can see Capano just tried to play an intricate ball back into him, but just a little bit to his right side.
Yeah, Neil fell over there as he was sending out the goal kick and then let loose with a guttural roar, but I think that was more frustration than an injury.
Well, I must admit, the pitch from last week to this week, there was a little bit of wetness and the ground was quite hard, so a lot of players were slipping all over the place. This is a little bit better, a little bit drier, much better underfoot for the players.
It's a fine surface here at the home of the Matildas. It hosted the Doherty Cup final here on Saturday. Won by South Melbourne in a penalty shootout over the Oakley Cannons. South Melbourne in action tonight against the Wellington Phoenix in Australia Cup action. And then on Sunday, the Nike FC Cup final, FC Bulleen Lions beating Preston Lions 3-2.
Well, it must be the only goal, I think, so far, because there's no alarms being blowing off, so... Funny, Avondale can, one week in football can be so different. I mean, you had such a great win against the Sydney FC team, an A-League side, and, you know, a few days later, you lose in the Doherty Cup.
Heartbreak of the penalty shootout for the Oakley Cannons.
Oh, Oakley Cannons, sorry.
The top of the box, this effort's going to flash just wide of the post. Marko Basic trying to just tuck it into that bottom corner of the net. And the Jets, at what point do we start to say it's more let-offs that they're getting, Archie?
Well, you can see what Basic has done there. He's tried to go that near post, guide it in. I would have thought it would have been better as that ball's coming towards you to hit that back to the far post, but there was probably 3 or 4 defenders in front of him. So I can understand why he's trying to go to that near post.
Campagna chasing that one down, but in doing so, he's given away the free kick.
You just feel the intensity starting to lift a little bit.
How much will... We've heard them now several times, Archie, these home crowds that's getting up and about and getting a bit aggro. How much of an advantage could that be for Melbourne, Serbia?
Oh, I think it's really important. I mean, they're so passionate about their football, especially the Serbian community. You know, I just bumped into a couple as I was walking in. They don't even necessarily go for this club, but they heard that there was a Serbian side playing, so they come and support. And they're so passionate and loud, you can see that they're riding every single challenge. I think he was just a little bit winded on that one. Didn't see too much in that one, to be honest.
Yeah, the trainers is out. Handshakes going around, no hard feelings.
You can see here on the replay.
Well, Daniel Detroit is back to his feet, which is good. He went down, immediately tapping the surface. Yeah, good crowd in attendance here at the home of the Matildas, enjoying themselves. And Feels like the weather's, well, maybe paying a bit more cooperation. Hasn't gotten any colder since kickoff.
I will say last week we had the Srblaki hut over there in the corner with Oakley cannons, which was beautiful. Had that smell wafting across the pitch. I thought we don't have any chapapis. I thought we would have had that being cooked here.
Well, I will say they have set up a merchandise stand here today, FC Melbourne Serbia. It was quite good kit.
Well, that's not going to get me fed, mate. I would. And that's what I love about the Australia Cup. It's like you can, have these little stores that help the football communities that maybe don't have the budgets of an A-League team, so they rely on anything that they can get.
He's one of the great benefits of the Australia Cup, especially when you draw an A-League men's side. You get, like we've seen times when like Heidelberg United gets Melbourne City, the infusion of cash that brings into them can be so important for these clubs that, well, are trying to build, not only are they trying to build teams, but also build facilities for their juniors and, support junior programs as well as senior programs.
Exactly. And let's be honest, these are where most of our young talent come from, these grassroots football clubs.
That ball headed down. The Jets trying to grab the second ball. As ever, Serbia not making it easy for them. Giuseppe Makeda sending it back to Ryan Neal. Wilson can't retain possession. Short, sharp passing from Melbourne, Serbia. Back heel from Maxim Ilic, doesn't pay off. Tended ball around the corner for Skimizi, he doesn't come off either.
Nice little challenge there by Cameron Davies. Just on Hamish McCabe, just to let him know he's there. But I know that there's a bit of difference in maybe the levels of football in terms of the competition they play in, but the way that Melbourne Serbia are playing their football, you wouldn't tell.
Basic battling to try to keep it in, unsuccessful. For a free kick going the way of Melbourne Serbia. Andrea Getsojevic still down, holding what appears to be his ankle right in front of our broadcast position here. Getsojevic was the one on the score sheet for Melbourne Serbia last week in the 3-1 defeat to Pascavale. As mentioned, that game just coming a few days after they'd secured promotion and maybe with one eye on the cup. Now you can see Melbourne Serbia, massive bodies at the top of the penalty area. Nenad Nikolic loops the ball forward, will fall. Still up for grabs, players hurling themselves at it. Ivkovic lays it off, Brown whips it in. Cleared away by the Jets and then just hoofed out of there by De Troyer for a throw-in.
And it's a numbers game for the Melbourne Serbia, just trying to get numbers into that box and sort of feed off the second ball.
Ball knocked across and the bounce will be kind to Marko Basic as he goes to collect it. Loses one, trying to lose the second, can't. Booted clear, but the numbers with Melbourne Serbia, albeit the header, will set Enzo Campagna a task, but he's going to come up with it. Enzo Campagna. That's a sharp ball in behind, ball into the penalty area. And then cleared away again by the Jets. Matt Mullen with the clearance. Enzo Campagna though, a back for Serbia, back heel. Timothy Henderson with the challenge. And he carries it out. Shakes one challenge. Can't beat Nenad Nikolic. Back and forth, back and forth. Serbia again. Ninkovic waits in the middle. And it's sent out for a corner.
That was a beautiful passage of play by both teams. Great little ball in behind by the Campagna, I think for Brown, but it was good defending by the Modbury defence. You see, maybe left his foot in a little bit late. But what I loved about that run by Ryan Brown, you can see him on the sideline. He was like, give it to me, give it. Then the second run, the defender didn't see him, and it was a beautifully weighted pass. He just needed someone to make a near post run. As you can see there, threaded it beautifully. Just waiting for someone to attack that near post. They're kind of just in a line.
Had to go back to Maksa Milic around the penalty spot instead.
Yeah, you can see Luka Ninkovic maybe should have just made a darting run to that near post, dragged the defender out, and that's where Ilic comes in. But beautiful play to make that happen.
Well, Henderson and Nikolic both went down after that passage of play. Nikolic has come off, he fixed his boot. Meanwhile, the corner is sent in. Ilic was the intended recipient, knocked away. Campagna's pass doesn't come off, but the rebound will give him another opportunity. I'm going to get the ball out onto the left flank where Ryan Brown has come across. And sent it to Ninkovic. He was challenged and went to the turf. No free kick. And then just looking for territory, Kenshiro Ichikawa.
When you saw that ball come out by Modbury, there was about 4 defenders of Melbourne Serbia already sitting back. They didn't want to get caught out again like they did in the early minutes of this game. But again, these are wide areas for Melbourne Serbia that Modbury haven't been really able to defend really well, but they defended the box really well.
Campagna knocking it forward in the Brown direction. Connolly's in there as well. Throw in for Daniel De Troya. Meanwhile, though, behind play, Tim Henderson has gone down again. Had that collision moments ago with Nenad Nikolic. Opportunity for both sides to just regather themselves. A few players from Melbourne Serbia coming across to the bench. A couple of players heading across to coach Maurice Natale for the Jets as well. I guess, Arch, how important is it for the Jets to maintain this? Of course, it's important for the Jets to maintain the lead heading into the half-time break, but mentally to see out this challenge from Serbia.
Look, as you can see here, he's just left it a little bit late. I don't know if might have just been a knock on the shins there that has left him a bit, a bit sore. Yeah. But yeah, I think for Modbury, it's they can't. I guess it's great to have that 1-goal lead, but I think you've got to be thinking, okay, how can I get that second one? Because the way that Melbourne Serbia are attacking and finding ways of getting balls into that 18-yard box, I mean, it only takes one little slip up or a ball bouncing to an attacker and it's 1-1. So I think it's great that they're defending well, but I mean, if you keep allowing that pressure to come, it makes it difficult.
Oh, here come the Jets, breaking forward quickly. And then the attempted ball just dinked over the top. Similar to a goal they scored, their opening goal against the Croatia Raiders last week. On that occasion, though, Skamizi just had to watch it bounce into the hands of Jared Hill. Oh, the keeper, Ryan Neal, has fallen over. There are pretty goals, and then there whatever that would have been. But fortunately for the Modbury custodian, it went out for a corner in the end.
That's the second time we've seen Neil fall on the ground. You can see that the header, oh yes, as I was saying, the surface little bit slippery.
Ball whipped in. Modbury spared blushes, but forced now to defend again. Campagna's ball. Cleared away. Lee's long ball forward. Ryan Brown arrived, but it's going to come last off his forehead. And out for a goal kick.
And I think for Melbourne, Serbia, they just need to be mindful not to lose concentration. You can see the way that they gave up that ball, and Ichikawa, if he had played that ball a little bit better in behind, could have led to a chance for Modbury. So as much as they're attacking, they've got to make sure that they watch the defensive mindset as well.
I've seen a couple of passages of play in these last exchanges suggesting that the Jets retain that threat, as here they come once again. So easy, the goal scorer. That's a clever ball. Jikawa with the effort, just across the face of goal. So it was Lachlan Wilson with the effort. The teenager, the 18-year-old.
And it was Skamizi. That was a little bit soft defending for me. And he does well to pick out the young boy, Lachlan Wilson. He did well to hit the target low across the face of goal. But you would have thought that being in that sort of position with the amount of time that he had, he probably should have hit the target.
Here we go, nascent signs that the momentum is beginning to swing once again. Dion Kirk will win a free kick in the middle of the park and go down requiring treatment. Jesse Francesca, his skipper, standing over him. Yeah, just a wayward boot there.
I just think with the defending of Melbourne, Serbia, especially the one-on-one defending, just needs a little bit, be a little bit better. Again, Skamizi was able just to turn and attack that space with ease.
Now, Maurice Natale has his players warming up over in the sideline. Probably don't anticipate him making a change unless he really has to. And a fine tenure for Maurice Natale since he arrived at Modbury. Took over in 2021 when they finished third in State 1 in South Australia. Guided them to promotion the following year, as well as final of the Federation Cup and a run to the round of 16 in the Australia Cup. Eliminated by eventual champions MacArthur in that run. And last season, 5th in the NPL, but reached the grand final. Now, back on the national stages, chasing a premiership, and who knows what when the finals begin. Ninkovic is going to play that ball forward. Brown giving chase. He got there. No, he didn't. The flag eventually goes up. There's plenty of experience, Archie, from that 2022 side that played in the Australia Cup. Still at Modbury, but Detroit started that game against MacArthur. Mullen. We've got Darsim Shaxi, who's on the bench today. He started in that game. Both McCabe brothers did.
Yeah, it's always important to have that experience, especially in these sort of games. Maybe for Melbourne, Serbia, there hasn't been many players that have played in this sort of, I guess, pressure.
Again, the header back to Ryan Neal. Well, importantly, kept his feet this time because Ninkovic was closing down at speed. Shiro Ichikawa unable to chase that one down. Well, it's a dangerous throw-in, really selling Cameron Davis into a bit of trouble. Just able to get it out to Brown, although he's surrounded by blue shirts. In the end, Serbia just forced to hoof it away, clear their lines.
These are these sort of lapses in concentration you don't need, especially when you're chasing a 1-goal deficit, especially an easy one like that. I mean, the throw in, and he was waiting for the ball to come to him, and it was taking forever. Again, it was good pressure by the Modbury attackers.
I'm going to assume that cheer from the Melbourne Serbia faithful was a bit sarcastic in nature. Probably feel as though they should have had a few more free kicks. As they get the ball out onto this left flank, which has proven a happy hunting ground. Nikolic's pass there, though, when he'd want to have back. And, well, here comes the Modbury Jets in the form of Hamish McCabe, trying to combine with Francesco Scamisi. Stolen away. Forward for Ninkovic. His attempt to just hold play up runs into Dion Kirk. The Jets are going to give the ball straight back. Ninkovic, surrounded by a few, did well though, and then winding up and sending it wide. Well, then we can see the total shots. That's going to be the 4th shot of the game for Melbourne Serbia. Well, for all their possession, for all the threat they've shown, it's the Jets that have had more efforts on goal.
Yeah, it's always the way. I think when a team's chasing or putting a number of balls into the box, it's going to look like they're going to be having more shots on target, but unfortunately that's not the case. I think for Luka Ninkovic, probably wrong decision there. Scoring a goal from there, it's going to have to be world class. And that's maybe a little bit of frustration. I know you as a striker, if you're not getting clear-cut opportunities and you have an opportunity, you try and pull the trigger.
Ilic sends that ball out to Marko Basic on the left, looking for Ninkovic, headed away by Henderson. And as far as Brown, charged down by Detroya. It's been a good battle, that, Detroya versus Brown. All up for grabs, ball into Ninkovic's direction and claimed by Ryan Neild.
You can see what Brown was trying to do there. He saw Ninkovic just peel out to the back post. But if you float one in there, it has to be pinned perfect. The keeper read that one, but it needs to be, I think, if you're going to hit it back post there, just with a bit more pace. Inch perfect.
Pinch it in, sounds right.
Well, that's why I said it. Yeah. But then when I've had time to think about it, it's probably, hang on, that's not right.
Pinch it into an inch of space. Sepi Makeda can have another throw-in on this right-hand attacking flank of the Jets. So the Litley's training on the back pitch here at the home of the Matildas at the cemetery ends. Newly opened facility. It's proven such an important tool for the Victorian football community ever since it opened. So many clubs taking advantage of the facilities. Nikolic was closed down by Francesco Scamisi. Went laterally and now the ball forward. Basic. There's Ninkovic inside, but the Jets doing well to close down the angles. Francesca clears it away, and well, Scamisi's going to get grabbed to prevent him going forward, and well, looking for his own Liam Boland's moment there with the long-range shot. Denied by Hill.
Well, Scamisi, the way he spun off his defender there was beautiful, and he saw that the keeper was out. Would have been a spectacular goal. I looked at Hamish McCabe was actually making a better run if he had to just hold that shot off.
Probably one of those occasions where if he just pulled up, he probably would have had the free kick, but because he took the shot, the advantage was played.
And I think, yeah, if he had maybe even carried the ball a little bit more, like I said, that Hamish McCabe was making a really great run.
Well, here we go. 45 minutes have concluded here at the home of the Matildas. We will have 3 extras before the halftime break. Chance perhaps for Melbourne Serbia to throw a few more attacks forward, try to find a leveller before the halftime break. Of course, chance for maybe for the Jets to deliver what would be an absolute gut punch, a second goal in first half added time.
You do have to say, though, Timothy Henderson and Matthew Mullen have been superb in that middle of the defence for Modbury. Everything that's come into that box have really dealt with.
Oh, here we go. The Jets almost pinching the ball back through McCabe. Serbia coming under significant pressure in these final stages, now coughing it up, but no, free kick. Ball across, just picked out by Detroit. It's easy, going back to collect the ball. Giuseppe Makeda going on a bit of a run from his position at right back. Cave just lofting it over the back line, but claimed. And Jared Hill. Just about 2 minutes of the added 3 expired.
That was beautiful play by the right back, Makeda.
Crossfield pass intended for Marko Basic. Comes up with it. Can't find Campagna. Matt Mullen. To the Troyer. Back to Neil. Not the most convincing of clearances. Ninkovic is there. Left it behind. It's going to fall for Brown. Surely. No! On the stroke of half-time, Melbourne Serbia, Enzo Campagna, somehow not levelling this game up.
Well, there's comedy of errors there. Luka Ninkovic, beautiful ball. And unfortunately, that little bobble, I think the bobble was at the start when Neil tried to clear it. And then, like I said, Brown did well just to pick out Campana. And again, that bobble just in that area. Probably almost had time to take a touch even.
Well, that will be the final key moment of this opening half as it comes to an end at the home of the Matildas, with the Modbury Jets taking an early lead in just the 4th minute of this contest through Francesco Scanese. Well, Serbia responded after the early goal. They threw themselves forward up the other end. They had chances, none more glorious than Enzo Campagna's effort on the stroke of half-time, which he put over the crossbar from relatively close range. But this game is certainly up for grabs. The Jets have the lead. They've had their moments, but Serbia not going away. A fantastic second 45 minutes, absolutely to come here from the home of the Matildas on 10 play. Welcome back, one and all, to the home of the Matildas in Melbourne's North. Australia Cup round of 32 action, and it is the Modbury Jets, South Australia's Modbury Jets, that have come to town, and they hold a 1-0 lead over FC Melbourne, Serbia, striking in just the 4th minute of the game through Francesco Scamizzi. Melbourne, Serbia responding. It's been a highly entertaining game. The action back and forth, fast and furious, but that early goal proving the only one.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that Melbourne Serbia were great after conceding so early. A bit disappointing, I think, for Melbourne Serbia, the way they defended this. Hamish McCabe was allowed to run. No one really putting a challenge on him, but it was still a great ball across. And why these two strikers in the Adelaide NPL are scoring so frequently is because of that partnership.
Francesco Scamizzi adding another goal to what has been a fantastic season for him, but now we saw Melbourne Serbia rally both sides, 6 shots on goal throughout the game. Just the one on target for Melbourne Serbia. It really has been what's been let them down, but still, you can see the XG, they're actually leading. So, according to the Boffins, they've both had 6 shots, and we can see Melbourne Serbia the better chances.
Well, look at the amount of entries that they've 51 into Modbury Jets' defensive line. The two central defenders, Timothy Henderson and Matt Mullen, have been great in that central partnership, really blocking off a lot of that ball into the 18-yard box. But for Melbourne Serbia, if they just keep playing the way they are, and those intricate passing, especially out in these wide areas, and getting numbers in the box, I'm sure they'll create more chances this second half.
It's been the left flank, Archie, that we've seen have been creating a lot of these Melbourne Serbia chances. You're getting the likes of Marko Basic and then Nikolic heavily involved, and then up forward, Luka Ninkovic and Ryan Brown as well.
Yeah, definitely Basic on the ball has been excellent, especially out in this left-hand side. Great deliveries. Again here, you saw that first one with Luka Ninkovic, just needed to hit it right or left of the goalkeeper, and that's a goal. But like I said, that link-up play has been really great. He had a really great chance, Capano, at the end there of that second half. But again, making these runs in the box, I thought, for me, Ryan Brown has been probably one of the most outstanding players, especially in an attacking sense. I mean, his runs in behind have been really fantastic. Luka Ninkovic, I think this is a bit down to frustration, not getting too many opportunities, but a little acre of space and he tries to hit it. But I reckon that if they keep getting these balls out in these wide areas and delivering the quality, I'm sure, like I said, they'll create more chances.
So that's you've scored plenty of goals in your career, Archie. You think that if they just keep creating these chances, eventually one will fall?
Oh, definitely. I mean, if you've got 51 entries into that final third, you're going to start to create more as the game go on, and maybe this Modbury team will start to tire. Their confidence is probably lacking a little bit over the last couple of weeks with their own form in the domestic league. But they still just need to be mindful of defensive, that mindset of not giving up too much mistakes, because if you concede a second, it'd be definitely a uphill climb for this Melbourne Serbia side.
Of course, at the same time, the Modbury Jets, Hamish McCabe and Francesco Scamizzi, lethal threats in the break. So plenty to play for in the second half of the home of the Matildas. Australia Cup round of 32 action on 10 play. Welcome back to the home of the Matildas here in Melbourne's north. Round of 32 action in the Australia Cup. It continues to come fast and furious. And here it is the Modbury Jets that have streaked out to a 1-0 lead over the hosts, FC Melbourne Serbia, striking in just the 4th minute of the contest. Hamish McCabe setting up Francesco Scamizzi. But Melbourne Serbia, the lowest ranked side in this competition in 2024, VPL 2, the 3rd tier of Victorian football, the 4th tier of Australian football. They rallied and they have certainly sent plenty of scares through the Jets, just demonstrating enough to, well, give us plenty of hope that we are in store for an action-packed, highly entertaining second stanza here in Australia's, well, what I'll say is Australia's best footballing competition, the Australia Cup. But Archie, well, we've seen the two sides come out here. Do you think we're going to get a winner in 90 minutes?
Wow, I mean, it's the Australia Cup. You never know, and you never know with a game of football. I felt like the way that Melbourne Serbia, after conceding that goal early, really grew into the game. But Modbury showed some chances or some, glimpses of the opportunities that they can create. So I think for Melbourne Serbia, they need to be wary of that. But the amount of entries into that final third for Melbourne Serbia, they need to really start to take some of those chances.
Well, we have had one change at half-time here at the home of the Matildas, and it is by the visitors, the Modbury Jets. Timothy Henderson, he collided with Nenad Nikolic in the opening stanza and came up a bit of a cropper, and it looks like that is going to force him onto the bench for the rest of the game. He has been replaced in this Jets backline by Joku Wall, slotting in there at centre-back. Meanwhile, though, his teammates trying to come forward. Blocked away. So a defensive change for the Modbury Jets, Archie. Not one that any coach likes to make, but do you reckon Serbia will immediately key on that? I'll get your thoughts after this attack as they're going to come forward and, well, early defensive showing there from the newly introduced Wall with the header. Danger has not gone away. Ninkovic sliding it out to Brown. High ball in. Looking for Ninkovic! Over the crossbar. Well, we're just picking up right where we left off, aren't we, Archie? We had Campagna put the ball over the bar at the very end at one end, and now Ninkovic up the other.
Again, it's out in this wide area, the left-hand side. Beautiful delivery. The new man came on, defended beautifully again. Again, Brown just floated that ball to the back post, and Ninkovic did so well to really generate the power from a floated cross, but just couldn't keep it down. Great early signs from Melbourne Serbia. I've been really impressed with Ryan Brown on this right-hand side.
Well, Lee's defensive header, it's not the best one in the world. Sat up a bit for Scamizzi. Serbia are eventually able to get it clear. Well, now you've got Wall who's come onto the park, Arch. As I was asking you before, I'll pick it back up again now. If you are Ninkovic, if you are Melbourne Serbia, do you immediately run at him? Do you immediately test him, see if he's up for it?
Yeah, I would. I mean, the way that Henderson and Mullen defended that 18-yard box that first half, you got that sort of partnership in sync, and then someone comes in due to an injury. I'd be thinking as a striker, I'd be wanting to go at him, being fresh and cold.
Well, here they come forward. McCabe, he certainly can run with a bit of intent. He's kept his feet initially. Goes down under the challenge, but it was a good tackle. Waved away. Now Serbia looking to transition. For Brown on the right. Had to look up and go back and get it, and it will bounce away from him.
McCabe really done well to keep his feet.
See here on the replay, just stormed past one, rode the challenge of the second, but Connolly's, well, he had to be good with that challenge, and he was.
Well, we saw that in the first half, the way that when he gets that ball, he's so directed to goal. He set that first goal up by doing that and staying on his feet. I mean, any other striker would have probably have gone down.
Trying to slide the ball in, coming together. Marko Basic, though, I think was the one clipping the defender's ankles rather than the other way around. Well, that ball's going to slide through. Ichikawa, bit of space, kept it along the ground. McCabe again. He's got the cut back. Almost a mirror image of their early goal from the first half. On this occasion, Serbia scrambling it clear for now. Well, Ninkovic came back to defend. Campagna. This pass intended for Maxi Milic doesn't come off. Mullen playing it forward. Wilson. Oh, here we go. Ninkovic trying to make a nuisance of himself. Mullen. To Uwal. Troyer sent it central. McCabe again. He's kept his feet. McCabe driving central. McCabe. He thought it took a touch that deflected out. Officials disagree.
Beautiful running again by McCabe. So strong on the ball. You can see he rides a lot of that challenge. Tries to keep his feet. Just couldn't seem to bend it to that far post.
He just looks intimidating when he runs, doesn't he? Like, he's solid. He looks like defenders will bounce off him.
It's so hard to defend those sort of strikers that really just hassle you when they got the ball. They're so direct.
Ball up for grabs in the middle of the park. Scamisi battles for it and made enough of a nuisance of himself to ensure his side could come up with it. Cater operating out there on the right. Well, the newly introduced substitute. Almost made to pay for an error. Jets able to scramble it away. The Troyer has come up with a bit of a limp behind play, so we'll keep an eye on that one because he's going to have to defend here. Brown. Loose ball in the middle of the park. Coming away with it was Jesse Francesca. Here we go, McCabe now. Chikawa on the left. Couldn't get a clean cross in. Serbia scramble it away.
This has been a great start to this second half. End-to-end stuff. You see Modbury are really starting to get a bit more possession, especially in this final third. Waller's actually done well since coming on. He's had maybe that pass was a little bit stray. He tried to open up the ball, open his body to pass that ball. The ball just bounced away from him, but I think he's been really solid since coming on.
Does have a bit of pedigree as well. Former, he was a under-18 player of the year with the Jets going down. Waved on there. McCabe won't get a penalty. It was back in 2020. Wall was named PPL under-18 player of the year with the Jets. As mentioned, he was there. Came off the bench in their run to the round of 16 in the Australian Cup back in 2022 against MacArthur. And he has started a number of games for the Jets this season across various levels. Plenty of senior experience. That's a sloppy turnover. Ketsojevic got in the way of it. Now again down this left flank comes Serbia. Got Basic working in there. Ketsojevic as well. Keeping his feet, Ketsojevic, and then he was looking for Basic. Didn't quite come off, but Nenad Nikolic keeping the play alive. High ball in. Brown has to go back and get it. Two men closing down. He looks for the byline. Ball across. Wall heads it away for a corner kick. Again, that left flank arch.
Yeah, it is. You can see where he just slipped as he was about to go onto his right side there.
Was that a penalty, Archie? The video Archie review once again.
No, I thought that he slipped just before there was any contact.
friend of referees, Archie Thompson.
I might get a gig in the VR room.
All whipped in, can't beat the first defender. Campagna got underneath it as he tried to send it back in. Wall got a boot on it. That's going to allow the Jets to just get the ball out of here and clear their lines and reset field position. Okay, applied the pressure. Brown's attempted flick on doesn't come off. Last-ditch sliding challenge from Serbia prevents any dangerous play behind their lines. Maxim Ilic carries the ball forward before turning and sending it to Lees. Milos Ilic, crossfield pass. Nenad Nikolic again to combine with Basic. Low ball in, met by Wall, cleared away. Well worked by Serbia.
Again, it's Nikolic just getting into these wide areas. There's 2 or 3 times already in this second half. He's used that speed. Again, this combination of Basic and Nikolic.
Good delivery in, it's met with the equalizer! Milos Ilic, Melbourne, Serbia, a level in the Australia Cup.
Well, what a second half we're having already. It was a beautiful delivery in a real dangerous area, swinging in. As you can see, he just beats his man to the near post, uses the pace of the ball, and that's a great header downwards. Not too much the keeper could do with it.
Well, Milos Ilic, he's wearing the armband tonight. He's a man steeped in Melbourne, Serbia. His father played for this club. His grandparents played for this club. He is now representing this club on the national stage, and he has come up big, leveling this contest and setting up what should be a grandstand final half an hour here at the home of the Matildas. Melbourne, Serbia will feel that the wind is at their backs as they come down this left flank again. Basic laying it off to Nikolic. Back heel, cleared away by Matt Mullen.
Again, Modbury really not being able to deal with that sort of give and go 1-2, using that speed in behind. Really open second half.
That ball will bounce through.
We did talk about how many entries that Melbourne, Serbia had in that first half. It was always going to be a matter of time. And the way that when they do get in these wide areas, the quality of the ball has been excellent. And we saw from that set piece the same. And, you put a ball into the right place. Great delivery. And it was a fantastic finish.
Well, here we go. We know the Jets have what it takes to answer back. Francesco Scamizzi, Hamish McCabe looks like he's able to either score or set something up every time he gets on the ball and starts running. So this game's certainly by no means something that Serbia are just going to kick on with without any resistance. The Jets, well, they're high-flying in the NPL South Australia for a good reason.
Yeah, exactly. You've got two teams that know how to win games.
As McCabe's ball forward for Scamizzi. Whoa. Did well to get a boot on that one, didn't he, Arch? Just that real striker's instincts there, isn't it? To just know where the goal is and try to send something in that direction.
Yeah, and again, it's about using his speed and anticipating. Great little ball by McCabe. Probably would have liked that chance back again. know that the ball was just sort of getting away from him. Any little foot he could get to it.
Does Nikolic need to do better there, getting his body on him?
Yeah, I think he needs to shield that a little bit better.
Well, there's the Melbourne Serbia left back, just put the ball into touch. Coaches up in both dugouts, barking instructions. Regardless of what happens tonight, you have to give credit to the job that Željko Popovic has done with this Melbourne Serbia side. Led them to back-to-back promotions from State League 1 to the VPL 2 and next season VPL 1. He's worked very hard to professionalise the program. Going at the first half, he's increased the video review and the video sessions the side does. Went from training twice a week to 3 times a week. Wants to do it 4 times a week moving forward. As Brown gets on the ball, lofts it in towards the back peg. It's going to fall and get blasted over the crossbar. Kiseljevic, I think, was the man that had it fall to him.
Yeah, he was just leaning back. Might have been Ilic, actually. Again, it was a great ball out in his wide area. And that lung-busting run by Nikolic to keep that in. He did well to knock it backwards. I don't know.
No, it was Maxim Ilic.
Yeah, and you could just see he was leaning back as the ball was coming towards him. Head over the ball. And you follow through, you keep it down. That was a big opportunity for Melbourne Serbia. I don't know what Nikolic has done or taken at half-time, but the amount of running and speed he's using out on that left-hand side, incredible.
Up and down, such a valuable weapon for coaches, these wing-backs that can just run and run and run.
And as you can see there, the ball's bouncing a little bit, I've got to give him that, but, you know, someone in his stature and quality, leaning over the ball, keeping it down.
Well, if a match winner was going to emerge, Archie, for either side, who do you reckon it would be? I'm guessing McCabe for the Jets?
Yes, you'd feel it'd be either Skamizi or Hamish, because, you know, they are doing so well in the Adelaide NPL. And but then you look on the other side for Melbourne Serbia, the amount of balls they can get in there, but it can fall to anyone, so...
Opportunity for the Jets here, throw in on their attacking right flank. And just like that, it is ended. Serbia trying to get numbers forward. There's space for Brown to operate in as he collects. Troy comes out to keep him company. Brown coughs it up, and well, here come the Jets. Detroyer can't find anyone. Down this right flank. Sophie Makeda can't do much with it. Over an hour gone here at the home of the Matildas. Francesco Skamizi putting the Modbury Jets ahead very early in just the 4th minute. But Milos Ilic, the Melbourne Serbia skipper, with a powerful header here in the second stanza to tie things up. Both of these sides desperate to advance through to the round of 16. It'll be the second time for the Jets after doing so in 2022. This is the first time Melbourne Serbia has ever been on the national stages of the Australia Cup. Brown strayed into an offside position. Melbourne Serbia, though, are in the Victorian State League 2 as recently as 2019. Earning promotion that campaign, losing a couple of seasons to COVID. Mid-table finish in 2022, promotion in 2023, another promotion in 2024.
Well, I can remember the draw for this match. I was there and I spoke to the manager and the president of Melbourne, Serbia, and they were confident that this team could do so much in this competition.
Well, we're seeing a few changes now for both sides. Tomas Lakic coming into the side. Andrea Ketsojevic coming off. A couple of changes for the Modbury Jets. Liam McCabe will come on, as will Luca Trimboli. Francesco Scamizzi and Lachlan Wilson making way. That effort blasted over the bar. So the McCabe brothers, the McCabe twins, are on the park. Long ball out. Grabs in the middle of the park. It's the Jets who take it. McCabe. Ichikawa on the left flank. Advancing into the penalty area. Ball across. Coming together. No penalty. There were some appeals from a small but vocal Modbury contingent here at the home of the Matildas. Ryan Brown now. Sending the ball across. Luka Ninkovic will have to chase it down. Clever combination play. The Jets, a lot of bodies on the edge of their penalty area. A navy blue wall. Milic's attempted ball charged down. Serbia retaining possession in the Jets' half. That ball's going to scoot through. Whoa, under pressure. Got the ball away. And it'll be a free kick. Leon Kirk maybe wanted advantage there. And here we can see the chance across.
Yeah, you can just see that Dan Kirk just threw himself at that ball. I don't think there was a few shouts for a penalty. And this will be, probably a period of the football match that players will get a little bit tired. This is where they need to really start to focus and concentrate. And for Melbourne, Serbia too, they exuded a lot of energy in that sort of first 15 minutes or first 10 minutes of that second half to get back into this match.
Both coaches that we saw before, Maurice Natale, I think he was still asking about that penalty, maybe making a pushing motion, certainly giving his thoughts on it. Now we can see Željko Popovic in conversation with Enzo Campagna. One of the new signings for Melbourne, Serbia this season. Spent time with Zlatibor in Serbia and Jenistvo, I hope I'm saying that right, in Montenegro. There's Nenad Nikolic. He's going to get walked off in the company of the trainers and looks like they're maybe preferring a sub, so that will be a huge blow to Serbia, Archie, if Nenad Nikolic cannot continue.
Yeah, well, you look how much running he did in that the start of this second half, especially out in these wide areas, combinations, getting good deliveries across. Really lose someone of his quality out in this area, you lose someone going forward. Just lose that little piece of attack.
As here come the Jets. Francesca found Hamish McCabe before the attack breaks down. Well, it looks as though, well, the bib came off Themi Gatnias, a substitute on the bench for Serbia. Hasn't officially entered the game, however. And in fact, he's put the jacket back on to keep warm. So maybe the hope is that Nikolic can find a way to get through this game. Well, here we go. Brown giving chase, but it's going to be claimed by Neil.
Neil did well to come out to that one because the speed that Ryan Brown has, it needed to be alert.
Well, Arch looking over, it doesn't look like Nenad Nikolic is going to be able to continue. As the change is made. And indeed it is. Themi Katnias coming onto the pitch. During his first full season with Melbourne, Serbia in 2024, crossover mid-campaign from Box Hill 2023. Well, here we go. Serbia down the left flank. Ilic winding up and forcing a one-handed super save from Ryan Niels. Maxim Ilic trying to get in on the action, started by his brother.
It was a beautiful strike. Again, great link-up play. There was only one thought in the mind when that ball came to him. He was going to open up and have a shot, and he struck it beautifully.
Well, the corner now, swung in. Spills out towards the back of the penalty area. Sent back in, not convincingly cleared. Lees. Ball will just bounce up. Well, Cameron Davies went down, looking at the referee, but never a penalty, was it?
No, I don't think it. I think he thought it might have been a handball. You can see him signal to the hand.
And here we go, the stats coming up, and Melbourne Serbia they had an advantage in expected goals at half-time, and that has only increased in the second stanza. Serbia throwing themselves forward, albeit neither side able actually to break one yet. Here come the Jets once again. McCabe. Well, comfortable collection for Hill.
Yeah, I think McCabe, I know his quality and he's direct, but I think then maybe with so many players around, just needs to get his head up, keep possession.
You can see the reshuffle that has occurred in the Jets' attack after those changes. So you've got McCabe and Luca Trimboli leading the line. Liam McCabe has gone to the right wing. It's Hamish McCabe up top, and Kenshiro Ichikawa is on the left. That'll be a goal kick for Serbia.
It was great defending.
Of course, if you coach Maurice Natale, you've got to keep in mind you've got a huge game on Friday as well. You fly out tomorrow afternoon, so at least they don't have to make a dash to the airport or anything, but 2 defeats in league play mean that they were top, but they've fallen to second in NPL South Australia, 2 points behind the Metro Stars. They have to beat Campbelltown City away on Friday evening. Campbelltown are on third and technically can also win the premiership, so they'll be gunning for 3 points. Or they also have to hope that the Adelaide Comets can take a point off the Metro Stars in another game. So they're in an absolute dogfight tonight, and they've got another one due up on Friday.
I think that's when you play so many different competitions and all these little factors just come into it. There's the travel also, how they recover from this match. You know, it'd be deflating from a team's point of view or morale when you've already lost 2 in the league, when you're comfortably in a position to win. the competition. You come away from here, I mean, there's still a lot of football to be played, but if you go home and lose, the confidence will be knocked out of them.
Well, Melbourne, Serbia, they've got a huge game in the VPL 2 on the weekends. There's Trimboli getting on the ball and putting it across goal to more so to a dangerous area than a teammate. Doesn't come off. Serbia in the VPL 2. They've got North Sunshine on the weekend. It's 1 versus 2. It's almost a game to decide the premiership, albeit at the same time both of those sides already promoted. Trimboli now winding up and putting it over the bar.
You can just see Ilic there raise his arm saying sorry to his teammates, the way that he gave that ball easily up in that midfield, which allowed Trimboli to have that opportunity. And this is it now. You can start to see a lot of the players.
Yeah, Kenshiro Ichikawa down and requiring treatment. A recent addition, Ichikawa to Modbury.
And just, sorry, with that cross too, like, you know, you did say it was into an area, but there wasn't many numbers there. And that's, I think when you lose, you know, players trying to get into the box, you're not going to score many goals if there's not many players there. So Skamizi is one of those players that always looks to be on the end of those deliveries.
As we see another change being prepared, and Ichikawa is going to make way, and he's going to be replaced by a veteran of the squad, number 8, Darsim Shaxi, one of the players who featured in that 2022 Cup run. Much more of a regular starter in 2023, Shaxi. Not as many in 2024, 7 starts and 18 appearances across all competitions. And the 32-year-old veteran's going to have to get back as Serbia driving forward once again, albeit Brown had to go a long way back to claim that one. Campagna just trying to flick it through for the runner. Brown doesn't come off. Will fall to Katnias in the middle of the park. It's a hill. Just gets right underneath that one. Cheska knocked it forward for the Jets. McCabe almost coming up with it. 50-50 ball. Kirk couldn't chase it down. Here we go, Arch. We're in the last 15 minutes of this game. Do you still think we're going to get a winner inside 90?
I don't know. It just seems to have hit a little bit of a lull at the moment. This is, again, where tired players come into it, tired bodies.
There's Lees, unable to keep that one in after the defensive header of Milos Ilic.
I guess it's too how these substitutions have an impact on this game, especially with fresh legs.
As the Jets ball in for McCabe. Was forced wide. And you're gesticulating up here in the tower, Archie. What should he have done?
I actually thought he should have taken it first time. I mean, it was a great little touch to get around the defender. But the way that the ball looked like it came in, I would have thought that bang, hit that first time. Could have taken a little deflection off the defender as he was going down.
Up the other end, Serbia driving forward. This is onside. Plays in the middle, Ninkovic. Just got it caught underneath his feet, couldn't make rubber contact. And the Jets clear it away quickly, trying to burst forward in transition. McCabe was working against Campagna.
Just what I said, it was, I had a little bit of a lull. Again, this game, it just seems to ebb and flow. Great run by Ninkovic. You can see he just got a little bit ahead of the ball as it was played towards him. If he had to time that run, that ball was just perfect for him to hit the target.
Well, loops it forward. Look at Trimboli is there. Trimboli finds the side netting.
I think he did so well to be able to bring that ball down. An ample amount of time just to hit the target. You can see here, nice touchdown. Just sort of slices off his left foot. And this are these signs of tiredness that, you know, these little indecisions that defenders are making, or balls are getting played in, making that right decision.
Ball over the top from Ninkovic. Basic chasing it down. He's been superb, Basic. Looking one way and then the other. Now he gets the support. Peter's out though, Francesca.
And as a striker, these are the sort of times that you thrive on. You start to see where your defenders are and how tired they're going to get. And you can just see he just made that run a little bit too early. The ball was in front of, behind him. But again, as a striker, you're just ready, waiting for something to just fall your way and pounce, win this tired legs of these defenders.
That ball intended for Campagna, just blocked away at the last. Kirk laying it off for his skipper, Francesca. Hamish McCabe. Bullocking run forward. Hamish McCabe sliding it through for his brother. Cleared away, but only as far as Trimboli. Across the face to nobody in particular. And Serbia survive.
I don't know who made that challenge. I thought it was Miloš Ilić. Came across with an unbelievable saving tackle.
Look at this. Hamish McCabe sliding the ball through for his brother. Liam McCabe couldn't get the shot in on goal.
Might have been Connor Lees that just threw himself in there. Again, McCabe with that busting run from the midfield. He's been doing it all night.
He's on the ball again. Hamish McCabe looking for goal! At this point, if you're a Melbourne Serbia fan, Arch, you must be just having heart palpitations every moment that man even gets in the vicinity of the ball.
I tell you, that was really, really close. I know we're not at the angle where we can see it properly behind the ball, but great little step over, and that's close. That is really close. You can see
the keeper has no chance.
No chance. McCabe, head in hands there. He knows that was a real opportunity.
And all of a sudden, the Jets, the South Australian outfit, asking questions of the Serbia defence. Can they grab a late winner and prevent this game from going into extra time? McCabe, Liam McCabe, kept the play moving. Now Hamish, back in for Liam, flicked on, cleared away.
Beautiful understanding there of the McCabe brothers. You can see that was being played in the backyard a few times as they were growing up.
Here we go. 8 minutes of regulation remaining, plus whatever our fourth official, Alex King, decrees is necessary to be added on. There you go, this another interplay, moment of interplay between the McCabes. Hamish and Liam, twin magic. Campagna played the ball where he thought Brown was going to be, not where he was. Campagna again, trying to shield the ball away. Serbia working it out to the left, but close down quickly. Turnover. Liam McCabe looking for Hamish McCabe. Campagna in there for Serbia. Fancy footwork from Hamish McCabe, sliding at central. Trimboli kept the play moving. Francesca, he sends it central. Shaxi. Serbia get numbers back. The Jets, though, keep in possession. Francesca. His attempted cross, blocked away. Daniel de Troya. Whoa. The tension continues to rise as the seconds continue to tick away. The Jets keep in possession, but Serbia getting set up in their defensive shape. And the Jets forced to go all the way back to Ryan Neal. Mullen puts his boot through it. Couldn't find a teammate. Interception by Enzo Campagna. Working his way into space. Brown is in the middle. Can they get the ball there? Ninkovic arrives as well. That was the intended recipient. Maxi Milic gives away the free kick.
Yeah, it was just a little bit high with the studs there on that tackle. Campagna with another great little run into the attacking area. Just couldn't pick it out of man in that 6-yard box.
Will knock forward. Wall's header only as far as Brown. Working against his marker. Leon Kirk goes down. Wins a free kick. Well, both coaches actually talked to me pre-game about how they wanted to enjoy this, how they wanted to put on a show. I don't know how much they're enjoying it right now, but they've certainly put on a show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's been entertaining this second half, especially.
There's Liam McCabe, gets back to his feet. Closed down by Lees. And Serbia win the ball back, and a cheer goes up from their fans. These last exchanges, it's the Jets who are applying more pressure. Serbia trying to get out from the back. Cameron Davies in there. But McCabe, Hamish McCabe, bursting forward. McCabe back to the penalty spot. And it's put wide. Luca Trimboli. A glorious chance goes begging.
Again, McCabe. He has been unbelievable tonight. Look at that burst of speed. Gets around his defender. Great little pass. And I don't know what happened. He just flapped his lines there. Just didn't seem confident as that ball came to him. But McCabe again with another great run in behind.
Ball knocked forward. Hamish McCabe unable to get on the end of that one. Clever turn. Basic, central. Maxim Ilic. Just booted away. And Jesse Francesca.
And that's where the quality needed to be there, because if he had taken that ball to his right-hand side, there was two players making a great run on this right-hand side. This is what I talk about, you know, having that quality, especially when you're under fatigue.
Here we go. The tension is palpable as we head into the last 2.5 minutes of regulation. Both of these sides hurling themselves forward. They've both had glorious opportunities that they've been unable to convert, and it's left us staring down the barrel of extra time. Unless someone can pull a rabbit out of a hat. Is it Campagna? He keeps the play moving. Ninkovic, can he get the shot off? Save! Brown! No! Archie Thompson, how is this game still 1-1?
Well, that was just an incredible save by the goalkeeper there. I thought Luka Ninkovic, he did well to get it to his right-hand side. He hit it on target. You can see there with that. What a save. I tell you what, it doesn't get better than that. It had to be strong. That left hand was amazing.
Ryan kneeled. He must have concrete in those gloves. Some of these one-handed saves he's been making, remarkable. Now the corner comes in. Is this it? No! Blocked at the near post! Oh, and I think it went out and then back in.
Wow, that was just incredible phase of football. I tell you what, that save by Ryan Neal was just incredible. I don't actually know what happened there. If the ball maybe was out.
What is even happening here at Archie at this point? My word. On any other night, this game might be 5-4. Ignore whatever the XG says, but it feels like that. As here come the Jets once again. Can they produce a late moment of magic? Liam McCabe trying to cut the ball back. Couldn't find Luca Trimboli. Sebi Makeda to the top of the box. Hamish McCabe just shrugs off a challenge. Then lays it off. Shot blocked. Brown nods it on. Ilic kept it moving. Went down. That'll be a free kick. Here we go. 4 minutes of added time. The 90 has expired. So Kirk has gone into the book as well. It is all happening at the home of the Matildas, the home of drama.
The atmosphere has just gone up another level here. Amazing football, end-to-end stuff. I don't even want it to finish in 90 minutes, to be honest, because it's just been incredible. But I tell you what, my fingers won't be able to last another 30 minutes, but just amazing, amazing.
Ball is knocked forward. Can Serbia find a hero? Maxim Ilic goes down. Modbury ball. Serbia trying to erect a cordon around this throw-in, keep the ball locked into Jets territory. And they've won the ball back, but only momentarily. But nobody forward to make a contest with Ilic. And Milos Ilic, he's captains this side tonight, his boyhood club. He scored the goal that levelled proceedings. Now he's there with the defensive header, but he has to hustle back. Sebi Makeda wins the throw. Hamish McCabe waits forward. Luca Trimboli does as well. You've got Dion Kirk who's waiting on this left flank. McCabe, Hamish McCabe flicked it on. Trimboli. Troya. Dion Kirk. He's being forced backwards. Serbia getting set up on the edge of their penalty area to defend. Troya inside looking for options. Couldn't find one. Serbia have some numbers in the middle of the park. Cleared across for Marko Basic. The Serbia fans rise at the home of the Matildas. Basic gives chase. Attempted cross in. Took a touch. Up for grabs. Cleared away. Only as far as Ilic. Can he get a shot off? Ilic! Maxim Ilic puts it wide.
That was some fancy footwork there on top of the 18-yard box. He shaped the shoot one way, cut back the other way, cut back again, and just couldn't hit the target. Had enough power. You can see here, fakes it there, takes it to his left-hand side, and just pulls it a little bit wide.
I think that's Mullen who has gone down. Trainer hasn't come out, so he'll be able to stay on the park. We've pretty much played the entire 4 minutes of added time. Looks like we will be going to extra time. The players will only get 3 minutes rest from the final whistle to the start of an extra half an hour of football. Maybe we'll get an extra 30 seconds, maybe one final attack to account for that stoppage in play. And it bounces away from Basic. There we go, the 94 minutes that we were allocated, the 90 plus the 4 added, have expired. We await the whistle that will send this to extra time, or the miracle that will end it. Serbia, do they have time for one final attack? No, they do not. We are set for extra time at the home of the Matildas in this round of 32 clash of the Australia Cup. An entertaining game. It has had everything but a winning goal between Melbourne, Serbia and the Modbury Jets, locked at 1-1. Archie, take a breath, mate. What have we just witnessed?
Wow, I mean, I thought that save by Ryan Neal was just world class. I mean, the way that Luka Ninkovic managed to get it onto his right-hand side and hit it with enough venom that, you know, you think even a keeper's hand, he wouldn't have been able to keep that out. But that was probably, for me, the save of the Australia Cup. He has kept Modbury in this game. Unbelievable.
I mean, we can see the chances, the goals that were had. I mean, the Jets struck very early here. Hamish McCabe was fantastic for them, setting up this goal from Francesco Scamizzi.
Yeah, amazing. And McCabe, he's been doing this all night, just running at defenders. Sees where he is, plays it low and hard across that 6-yard box. And Scamizzi with a wonderful finish. And you thought at that point that this is going to be a long night for Melbourne, Serbia, but they really dug deep. They came out of this second half, really put a lot of pressure on this Modbury side. And
Milos Ilic with the goal, the header.
Great delivery, great header, kept it down. And like I said, Ryan Neal has kept the Jets in this competition, because that save by at the hands of Ninkovic was just amazing.
So we've got half an hour more of football now to play, Archie. As we can see here, the double save. Ninkovic, fantastic footwork. What a save.
How does he save that?
And then another save as well from Brown.
I don't know what you have to do as a striker there. He's done everything well, but that was just an incredible world-class save. So
we can see the stats after 90 minutes at Melbourne, Serbia, with the XG advantage. Just Modbury Jets shading the shot totals, 15-14. Serbia, more shots on target, 5-3. Final third entries there. You were talking about that throughout the half, Archie, and they've ended up with almost, 31 more in the end.
Yeah, well, look, I must admit, Modbury came out that second half with a bit more of an attacking intent. They definitely had a lot more entries in, but like I said, if you get enough deliveries into that box and you've got a lot of numbers waiting for that ball to drop, you're going to get a goal, and they did. You did ask if it was going to be in 90 minutes. Well, the way that this game was, it was always destined, I thought, to go to extra time.
Well, I mean, if they can somehow replicate what we saw across said 90 minutes in added time, I don't think anybody, well, except maybe the trainers and the players, will be complaining about it having to go 120 minutes. But the two sides heading back out now for the first period of extra time, and the Modbury Jets, they have made a change. We saw towards the very end of the contest, Matt Mullen went down looking in a bit of discomfort, and that indeed will end his race. He will not rejoin proceedings for extra time. Instead, coming on for him, Cameron Tompkins, who started in the 4-3 loss to Adelaide Croatia Raiders last Friday. So it has been trusted to start games in the past by coach Maurice Natale, but now the 20-year-old enters with massive stakes involved. And, well, also, Arch, the Jets have lost their starting centre-back combination to injury throughout this game. So, well, no pressure to that duo there of Tompkins and Wall.
Wow, I mean, it's such a big task for both of these players, especially to come in fresh. When you look at the way that the two marshalled that central defence in the first half and a large periods of that second half, you don't ideally want to be losing that combination, especially in the middle of that defence.
Two youngsters as well. Tompkins 20 years old, Wall 22. Neither of these sides are exactly long in the tooth. Serbia's average age 24, Modbury's 25. But a huge stage for these youngsters. A huge stage for everybody. The drama, extra time, a chance to make yourself a hero for your club and add to the story history of the Australia Cup in its 10th year.
I wonder what the message would be from both managers, if it's just let's not go helter-skelter, let's just make sure that when we do get that chance to go forward, that we go forward in a positive way. Don't give up cheap possession. When do we close? When don't we? Just to save bodies.
Oh, McCabe again carrying the ball forward, trying to combine with his skipper. Serbia got bodies around the ball. Will cough it up. Dion Kirk unable to keep that one in. Well, we've gone to extra time in this one, Archie, so Modbury continue to fight against the weight of history to this one. Prior to tonight's game, member federation sides from Victoria had played member federation side from South Australia 6 times in the national stage of the Australia Cup. So that ball is cleared away. So they've met 6 times and Victorian sides have won all 6 of them. So the likes of Melbourne Knights and Hume City, Heidelberg United, the Bentley Greens and the Oakley Cannons all winning over South Australian opposition. So the Jets not only playing for their own survival, but to get one back for South Australia.
I reckon our A-League record's pretty good too, by the way.
Oh, well, you've got to give credit Adelaide United, the kings of the cup.
Yeah, well, that's right. Yes, they've won this competition a number of times.
I sort of had to exclude Adelaide from United from the sat there. As here come the Jets.
He's just unlucky there. He kind of slipped as that ball was coming across.
Liam McCabe winning the free kick. And, well, Arch, they went ahead after just 4 minutes in the first half, and they did have a really good chance at the start of the second half as well, Modbury. So they have struck early in after the restart and after the commencement. And they now have themselves a free kick. Everybody back for Serbia to defend this one. Francesca swings it in. Defensive header. And there we go. The perils of getting so many men back to defend. There's nobody there for the transition.
Yeah, you could see with this start of this first half of extra time that Melbourne Serbia just quite happy to sit in their blocks, not really push too many men forward in terms of pressing the ball.
Zelko Popovic, hands behind his back, surveying the scene. Maurice Natale up in his dugout as well. Trying to figure out the coaching master stroke perhaps to spur their side to victory.
And like you said, the way that Melbourne Serbia have tried to become more of a professional outfit. I mean, who would say, like, you know, if you're training 3 or 4 times a week, you're able to still compete at this level at this time in the game. You know, most sort of, I guess, state sides don't maybe have that sort of amount of training, and you find them later in the game sort of dying away. But this Melbourne Serbia team,
well, also the rest could potentially come into this, Archie. Melbourne Serbia, they played last Tuesday, so they've had 7 days rest coming into this game. Modbury Jets, they played last Friday against the Adelaide Croatia Raiders, so extra rest for Serbia coming into this one. They would have had even more, but as we'll pause, as McCabe trying to work his way through, doesn't come off. They would have had even more, but the game against Pascoval that they played initially was set for Kevin Bartlett reserve, but it got washed out, got rained out. They couldn't play the game. However, that meant that a red card suspension that Luka Ninkovic picked up in the Doherty Cup would have been observed in this Australia Cup game. So instead, they very hastily reorganised it for Tuesday at Springvale White Eagles home ground to ensure that they could get the game away and Ninkovic would be eligible for tonight.
well, if he pops up and scores the winner in extra time, you'd be happy with that decision.
Well, the Melbourne Serbia president would owe the Springvale White Eagle president a big favour.
Yeah, 100%.
Of course, but that Doherty Cup semi-final in which he was sent off, they did lose to the Oakley Cannons, but it was only 1-0. And that was an Oakley Cannons side that promptly went out and beat Sydney FC in the Australia Cup last week. So VPL2 side this season, but certainly have shown their ability to punch above their weight class.
Yeah, and there's no easy games anymore in this competition with the Australia Cup. I mean, I played when it first was the inception of the Australia Cup, and the level of competition now just keeps getting bigger and better.
Ilic, surrounded by the byline, does very well to get the ball away. Ninkovic!
Well, we're just singing his praises then. And the ball, he did so well with just to read that ball because it had some height and to be able to generate some power too.
The search for a goal that would break this game open goes on. Is this the moment? Francesca sliding it forward. Maybe bouncing off the arm of Hamish McCabe had he been able to control it. That's a turnover. Liam McCabe in the middle of the park. He shrugs off a few challenges, combining with Hamish. The McCabes trying to advance the Jets in. And the shot is deflected out for a corner.
And the way these two link up, I love it because the way McCabe just passes that ball in and is expecting it straight back. Always when you give 1-2s on top of the 18-yard box, it's always so hard for the defender to read. Should they go in and challenge? And when you're just bouncing it off, it makes it so much harder for these defenders to defend.
Oh, I think that's Cameron Davies who went down with a bit of cramp perhaps. Back to his feet now to defend this corner, headed away at the near post. Again, Serbia had plenty of men behind the ball, so they're unable to look to quickly transition. The Jets, nice combination play down the right. Giuseppe Makeda, can he get a ball in? Can he find a teammate? Big corner kick instead. Here we go, Arch. Now just the cumulative pressure from the Jets.
Yeah, Connor Lees did well there. He was getting twisted and turned inside out, but he managed to get a foot to it.
So here we go once again. The Jets have a corner on the opposite side from their previous one. Ball whipped in. Defensive header and then the defensive clearance from Melbourne Serbia. But plenty of time for Darsim Shaxi to look up, try to spy a teammate. Trimboli was the intended recipient. McCabe, shot close down, will fall to Hamish McCabe. Again, Arch. How?
The goalkeepers. McCabe with a beautiful strike to the far post. First it was one McCabe, then it was the next. And he tried to guide it into the far post, but he gets his fingertips to it. Another great save.
Inspired goalkeeper tonight as the ball is whipped in, and then the header lashed off a jack. So sent over the crossbar. These two keepers. Ryan Neal has produced some incredible saves. Jared Hill popping up at the other end. I mean, if this goes to a penalty shootout, Arch, what happens? Do the keepers just keep making saves for the next 2 years? Maybe it will just take the other keeper to score. That'll be it. Yeah. They've been so good, they'll be the match winner.
Yeah, we might have to go on and take one, mate.
Oh, I'm too cold for that, mate. The amount of time I'd have to stretch. Meanwhile, though, here comes Serbia. Campagna! Effort relatively comfortable for Ryan Neal. Well, the form he's in, very comfortable for Ryan Neal.
Campagna, he tried to go for that right top corner. But like you said, the form that these keepers are in, it's a walk in a park.
McCabe getting back to defend for the Jets. Liam McCabe did well. Now the high ball forward. Davies getting under it for Melbourne, Serbia. Coming together. Players allowed to continue. Basic trying to flick it central. Here we go. We can see again just advancing in was Thomas Lakic for the comfortable save for Neal. Lees get the ball along the turf. Favourable bounce for Katnias. Milos Ilic getting a touch. Serbia looked to switch the play across to the right flank, and then the ball just floated into space for Brown, but he was coming central at the time. Looks like Melbourne, Serbia preparing another change on their bench. Fresh legs. Extra time. Falls for Campagna. Giving chase. Basic. Sandwich between two defenders, losing the ball. A double change, in fact, coming for Serbia. Meanwhile, they're back in the middle of the park. Liam McCabe lost his footing, but was able to recover. Top of the box, saved, and then didn't fall for Trimboli. It was Francesco with the initial attempt. The Jets asking questions. Hamish McCabe, who dropped deep, trying to get onto the ball a bit more. You do feel, Archer, though, as the Jets have wrested control maybe of this game in added time.
Yeah, they have. You can see Melbourne, Serbia just a little bit tired, dropping a little bit deeper. But that was a great strike on the top of the box there by Francesca. And even a better save by Jared Hill. When it's coming through defenders, he was able to get a good solid punch to it.
And here we go, two changes coming for Melbourne, Serbia now. And Luka Ninkovic will make way. One of the two players coming off. He's going to be replaced by Ricardo Ichigi. Ryan Brown also making way, being replaced by Matthew Papadimitriou. So two of Serbia's biggest offensive weapons making way.
Yeah, you can see that Ryan Brown done so much running in this match that he wasn't getting that impact as much, getting forward. Probably needed just a fresh player, just a different outlet. Well, Luka Ninkovic too was just maybe finding it hard to get hold of the ball.
Papadimitriou's got 2 goals in league play, albeit they came all the way back in round 1 when he got the brace. But he's maybe a bit of a cup specialist. He's got 3 goals in the cup, Melbourne Serbius wins over Ashburton, Uni Hill Eagles and Hoppers Crossing. He's going to have to defend now with the rest of his teammates as Modbury have another corner. Ball is lofted in, punched away. Battling for it, Serbia coming up with it. And that will be the end of this first half of extra time at the home of the Matildas, and still the search for a goal to put either the Modbury Jets or Melbourne Serbia ahead goes on. These keepers, well, producing some absolute world-class saves to keep these two sides equal, Arch.
Yeah, incredible. And you could just see that Melbourne Serbia were just slowly dropping back in, and they didn't really have that outlet in the speed of Ryan Brown, or really Ninkovic wasn't able to sort of hold the ball. So you could see why they were bringing in some fresh legs. You could almost sense that Modbury Jets pulled back a bit of dominance in that first half of extra time. With that strong running of Liam McCabe, also Hamish McCabe. Some great saves by Jared Hill there. Beautiful one to his right side. So it's just how I guess that Melbourne Serbia defend in this second half.
Well, do you think that's going to be the go from here for Melbourne Serbia, Arch? Defend, get this game to penalties and back yourselves to be more clinical?
Yeah, I think so. When you lose, I guess, that speed of Ryan Brown, like I said, you know, Nikolic, he comes off that outlet on that left-hand side too. I just feel like they probably don't have that potency or that speed up front. So it might be just, okay, let's see if we can get through this 15 minutes and try to get to penalties. And, you know, they've got one of the strongest defences in the BPL here in Victoria, so they'll be reliant on that tonight, especially, you know, against this Mulberry side. They're starting to take a little bit of assertiveness in this game.
Luka Trimboli standing over the ball, preparing to get us going in the second stanza. Luka Ninkovic, the leading scorer for Melbourne Serbia in their league campaign. The next best was Marko Basic, who has 6 goals. His last goal coming in a 4-0 win over Box Hill back in round 18 of the season, July 13. So either he's on a bit of a cold run or he's due. You can take your pick depending upon your biases in this game. There's Ichigi. Getting a touch on the flank and now bursting forward, and here comes Serbia. Papadimitriou into the area, but the great sliding challenge, denying him the opportunity to get a shot off. Fantastic defending from Giuseppe Makeda.
Well, that was just incredible because he faked the shoot, and I thought that he went down a little bit early, but he managed to get his foot around it.
Danger not cleared. Campagna lofting the ball in, just out of reach of Papadimitriou.
Well, just regard what I said at that halftime, because the way that Melbourne Serbia have started this one, really on the front foot. And that's a beautiful ball there too, in a real dangerous area. Just a little bit too much pace on it.
Well, here we go. Ichigi for Serbia. Kept on his run, couldn't get the return ball from Basic.
You can start to hear the chants of Serbia around the pitch. There, he just fakes the shoot, and he does so well to just get his foot to it, Makeda.
All hoofed away. Got Luka Trimboli in there for the Jets. Loses out. Davies clearing it away for Melbourne Serbia. Enzo Campagna, he's got speed if he can get the ball out from underneath his feet. Forced to go backwards instead. Ball into the penalty area. Ichigi trying to turn. Oh, the layoff just not there. Dion Kirk now for the Jets. Hamish McCabe around the corner. Serbia reclaiming possession. As the Jets, 20 shots, only one going in. 17 for Serbia, only one going in. The two sides have traded the lead in the shot count throughout this game. Now the Jets in the ascendancy. Lakic with the crossfield pass. Basic continued his run, couldn't get the return pass from Papadimitriou. Ichigi riding challenges, doing ever so well. Defensive header from Milos Ilic. Davies, high ball forward. Ichigi let it fall, but had come back from an offside position.
Yeah, Melbourne, Serbia really come out this second half of extra time on the front foot. The Jets really haven't got too much possession.
Ichigi spent some time with Melbourne Serbia at the start of the season, then had a stint with Doncaster Rovers in the state leagues, and then back mid-season with Serbia, featured in their two most recent games. Popped up with a number of goals in their promotion-winning campaign of last year, yet to find the back of the net for them this season. He'll now have to defend, however, as the Jets, another corner opportunity for Dion Kirk. Big pack is formed. Punched clear. Francesca sent it back in. No Jets players there to receive. Not the most convincing of clearances. It's going to go out for a corner.
I always thought it was a foul there too. He's looking at his player. There was another great strong punch from Jared Hill there.
Numbers getting forward again for the Jets. Wall has come up from his centre-back position. And in the end, probably could have stayed home.
Yeah, he's hobbling back there. He's done a lot of running, Dion Kirk.
Out on his feet.
I mean, the intensity of this match has just been incredible. I mean, I'm not surprised more players are sort of limping around the energy that's been expelled out onto this pitch.
Honestly, if your Metro Stars or Campbelltown City tonight couldn't have gone any better for you in the NPL South Australia competition. As Papadimitriou coming forward for Melbourne Serbia out on that left flank. Ball in, Ichigi was there, bit of a high boot, might have collected his man, and he did.
It was a great ball by Papadimitriou. I think the substitutes have made real impacts for both sides.
Did Troyer just copying an errant knock to the head? No malice in it.
You can see he was trying to get the ball.
Shaxi, the veteran, taking advantage of the opportunity to just maybe have a word with the referee as Maurice Natale plots his side's next move from the dugout.
Just in that little break, I was looking down at all the players. There was about 6 of them doing stretches, so they're starting to really feel it.
Jessica coming away with it in the middle of the park. Headed away by Cameron Davies. Ichigi, the intended recipient, couldn't keep it in. Gatnias playing the 1-2. And the crossfield ball, Basic. At the Katnias. Basic. Trying to just guide that one into the top corner.
Yeah, it was always going to be hard to really have any power on that shot. Better option would probably just to take another touch and see what option he had in the 18-yard box, who was making a run.
And Arch, the players that are out there right now, we're 113 minutes. When do they start to think about penalties? Are they already thinking that, or are they too busy focused on the game?
I think the players will be too focused on the game. I know that the manager will be thinking already, okay, I know there's still a good 7 minutes plus extra time, injury time to go, but I'm guessing you'd already have in mind who will be in that 5 to go to penalties, both sides. But in saying that, you're missing some key strikers too. I mean, you've lost Ryan Brown, like I said, Luka Ninkovic,
Skamazi, Modbury. Albeit the front line of Modbury, you've got the McCabe twins still out there, Luka Trimboli still out there.
It's sometimes funny that defenders are usually better penalty takers than strikers.
Well,
they're young boys too, so the pressure's on them.
The Jets searching for a way to make all this redundant, finding the winner in added time, extra time. The on Kirk, Francesca. Such tight areas to contend with on that flank. The throw in. It's been such an entertaining game, but exhaustion clearly sapping both of these sides as we head into 115 minutes played at the home of the Matildas. Truly has been a night befitting how good this competition is, the Australia Cup, befitting the 10th year anniversary. And do we have more twists in the tail as Lees boots the ball forward? Papadimitriou couldn't chase it down. Serbia can come forward again. Maxim Ilic, his attempted ball around the corner, high into the air, couldn't find a teammate. Davies got underneath it. Wall's defensive header. Time for Tompkins to collect it. Play just beginning to stretch out a little bit. Now Davies is down. Can the Jets take advantage? No. This play will be called back. The Jets bench furious. They wanted the advantage played. And I think, is Davies holding his head?
Yeah, I think it might have been a bit of a collision with that header. And with any sort of head injury, then they need to bring that back straight away.
Have to stop it immediately, yeah.
You can see there, I don't know if he maybe caught the ball a little bit wrong.
He just sort of like fell, almost like he was a tree that had been felled in the forest, the way that he found the turf.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, there's a few trees out there that could probably just fall. The amount of running that a lot of these players have done.
Giving the rev up to the crowd as he comes off the pitch.
Oh, he's actually been substituted.
He's been subbed. There we go. So Melbourne Serbia have emptied their bench. It is Luke Biggin, the 23-year-old, who will come on for these last exchanges. He is a defender by trade. Joined in 2024 after spending the last campaign with Brunswick Juventus. He's a Tasmanian. Came across to the mainland. There's one goal in the Australia Cup. Oh, well, things are getting a bit feisty, Archie, in these final exchanges.
You can see that the crowds are really getting involved. I think with Biggin coming in, it's actually good. It's just a straight swap him into defence.
He scored a goal in Melbourne Serbia's 5-0 win over Hoppers Crossing in the preliminary rounds of qualifying. Is that ball knocked forward? Dimitriou giving chase. Coming together. Modbury ball. Much to the disgust of the Serbia faithful. 2 minutes remaining in extra time.
I think they're sensing it could go to penalties. They're probably wanting it to end in extra time. The team to go through.
It's coming into this game, one of the question marks hovering over Melbourne Serbia was that they hadn't knocked off an NPL side on their way to the round of 32. The highest ranked opposition was VPL 1 outfit Kingston City. The question was, could they take it up to an NPL outfit? I think they've definitely answered that question as they now go and look to claim their scalp. But that's a strong challenge, a good challenge from Tompkins.
Very good challenge.
Biggin sends the ball back. Campagna battling with Kirk. Kirk will get the free kick.
Those two have been exceptional in the middle of that park.
And while the bookings coming for dissents now. Tensions high at the home of the Matildas. Unless something miraculous can be produced in these final exchanges, we will be off to penalties. There's Marko Basic, who caught the yellow card. And I think Dimitriou just joined him.
Yeah, he just a little bit late from behind. I don't think there was too much in it. The referee probably could have just kept that playing on, but, you know, any challenge from behind. You can see here, just left it a little bit late. I don't think he touches him. Well, that was a great tackle by Tompkins. I think these two young boys in the defence of Modbury have been really great.
There's that long ball forward. It's going to be claimed by Hill. Now, here we go. 120 minutes has expired at the home of the Matildas. Does Serbia have time for one last attack to prevent this game from going into penalties? Whoa, getting in the road. Ball in the hands of Lakic, hurls it forward. Wall again, knocking it down. That'll be a Modbury ball. Surely we are off to penalties now, Archie Thompson.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine there'd be too much time added on. Didn't seem to be too much stoppages.
There's officially 1 minute added on. So 45 seconds of that expired. Tompkins got a boot on it. Ilic sends it back. We are off to a penalty shootout at the home of the Matildas after 120 minutes. FC Melbourne Serbia and the Modbury Jets cannot be separated. It will end 1-1. And now, from the cruelest of areas on the pitch, the penalty shootout. One of these sides' Australia Cup dreams will end. The others will continue. After what has been, Archie Thompson, an incredible game of football.
Yeah, it has been. From the first moment when we got that early goal from the Jets, and then the way that Melbourne Serbia came back in that second half, and you could see there was a lot of tired boys, especially in that extra time. Didn't seem to be too much in terms of goal chances created. But, yes, the dreaded penalties. Not a big fan of these. I try to stay away from these as much as I could. Yes, it's such a cruel way to go out. I think both these teams were amazing tonight.
Well, Lakic and Francesca have just been conversing with our officials. I think they'll be kicking to the right of our broadcast, the cemetery end of the stadium here at the home of the Matildas.
We can see where the supporters are running to.
Making their way over. There we go. Well, Archie Thompson, knockout football, penalty shootout. I know you like to avoid them, as you just said, but what's the secret to a good penalty in this situation?
I think the best, I think, is to go first. Is obviously to go first, take that advantage, and just see what you can do. I mean, how you handle that pressure. I think the important thing is that you try to hit the target. Stay composed. I know it's going to be hard when you see all the mostly Serbian fans go across to the back there. But yeah, it's a real pressure moment.
Well, Serbia will be kicking first, Melbourne, Serbia, so the chance to set the tone for this penalty shootout. I mean, well, Coach Archie Thompson, would you advise, you have your penalty takers set out beforehand, you got it all planned, or do you just go to the team and say, right, who's feeling confident, who wants to take one?
I think that's important. I think you've got to give the option about, okay, who wants to take a penalty, who feels confident in it. But, you practice for these, especially in these sort of matches when you know that there's a possibility that you could be going to extra time and there could be penalty shootouts. So you'd have an idea about who would be best to take it. But it's about confidence. If it's a penalty shooter out there that wasn't probably meant to be taking the penalties, you'd be asking, okay, who feels confident?
Well, it will be Maxim Ilic to take the first penalty of this shootout for Melbourne, Serbia. His family steeped in this club. Ian Milos Ilic. And he rifles that into the back of the net.
There's no way that Milner's saving that one. That was hit really with some real venom. Almost the top of the roof there. Not too much a goalkeeper could do about that.
Yeah, I mean, I know Neil's having a good night, but
if he's saving that, I'd reckon go out and get a lottery ticket, because that would be incredible.
Well, Jared Hill's also having a good night for Serbia. We'll see whether or not he can deny. Jesse Francesca for the Modbury Jets, the skipper. As the boos ring out. He saves it! Does Hill! Advantage Melbourne, Serbia! He got down low to his right. And isn't he pumped about it?
Yeah, I just see that Francesca a little bit more to his right would have made that a little bit more difficult for the goalkeeper. But Jared Hill still had to be strong, pick the right way. And that's all you can do as a goalkeeper. Make sure that you stay on the line and pick the right way.
Well, here we go. Moments after it was Maxim Ilic, now Milos Ilic. Into the bottom corner. The keeper guessed right. He was moving in that direction, but he couldn't get there.
Well, it was a beautiful penalty again. Just hit low and hard along the ground, so the keeper really had to get down quickly. And that was struck too hard for the goalkeeper. You can see that he picked the right way.
Here we go, Dion Kirk. You were praising him, Archie Thompson, for the game that he played. Can he respond? Dion Kirk puts it right where he needs to, and the Jets are on the board.
Well, that was a beautiful penalty. Again, the goalkeeper picks the right way. Probably was hoping for that left hand that he saved in that normal time, but again, a great penalty under that much pressure.
Yeah, Matthew Papadimitriou, the substitute. So two starters for Melbourne, Serbia have nailed their penalties. Now, can a sub? Whoa.
Oh, that was coolly done, especially from a player that had scored way back in round one. Well, there he was due. He was due.
Well,
but
he did have the cup goals.
Well, that was a beautiful penalty. Look, right into the side netting. Knew exactly where he was going to go.
And I will say this, Arch, Dimitriou's brace in round one at the home of the Matildas.
Oh, there you go.
But here we go. So Serbia perfect with their penalties. Hamish McCabe, he's been fantastic for the Jets. And he puts it over the bar! It's a cruel, cruel, cruel turn of events. Hamish McCabe has been fantastic for the Jets. He's been a juggernaut every time he gets on the ball. Bursting forward, but Archie.
Oh, no, that's such a shame because he's been outstanding for the Jets. He was probably one of the most likely to score in normal time. It's such a cruel way to go out.
Oh, but here we go. Ichigi. Scores! Melbourne, Serbia are through! The Michael the fairy tale continues for the club from VPL2. This club that could, this club that backed themselves, will play in the round of 16. They went down after just 4 minutes, Archie Thompson, and they picked themselves off the canvas and have advanced through in the Australia Cup.
Well, it was an incredible penalty shootout from the boys from Melbourne. Didn't seem to miss a beat. I just feel sorry for the Modbury Jets. They were outstanding tonight too. Took the lead early, but the way that Melbourne, Serbia came back into it, you can see the celebrations over there, what it means to the fans. They've clawed their way out from this. I felt like when that came out that second half, they were just on it. And, you know, again, it's a cruel way to finish a game of football, but wow, amazing game.
You see the flags are out, the banner is out as well. Round of 16 qualifiers. Football, Archie Thompson. How good is football? An absolute treat of a game at the home of the Matildas tonight. Chances are plenty. Heart in mouth moments. And at the end of it all, a penalty shootout that sees the lowest ranked side in this competition advance through. And after this tonight, Arch, they'll be fancying their chances against anyone they get in the round of 16, won't they?
100%. And look, I don't even mind getting frostbite tonight after watching that game. It was just end-to-end sort of stuff. And they will fancy themselves. I mean, look, they've got an important game on the weekend now. They can really concentrate on that. But the excitement of this club is to be able to wait for that draw and hopefully, you know, they probably want a team that they could feel like they could fancy themselves at beating. But after this performance, why not dream an A-League club, an A-League defeat? It'd be amazing.
So after 120 dramatic minutes of football and a penalty shootout, it ended FC Melbourne Serbia 1, Modbury Jets 1, and then Melbourne Serbia winning 4-1 on penalties. Well, they'll get their full. Melbourne Serbia will get the full pathway planned out for them after this, after the draw, won't they? Because it's going to go round to 16, and then they're also going to lay out the pathways for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals afterwards. And you are right. If you are Melbourne Serbia, like, look at this support that they have over there right now. They are going to dare to dream, aren't they? And Željko Popovic, we talked about the job that he's done for this side since arriving. Back-to-back promotions, and now the round of 16 of the Australia Cup. They might have to fight to keep him.
Yeah, it's just incredible. And look, there's such a great Serbian community here in Melbourne. And, you know, whenever someone's or any team's having success in any competition, especially a big competition like that, I feel like that wherever they draw or whoever they draw, they're going to have that community supporting them, even if they don't go for this club. But look, it's just an incredible night. You've got to, like I said, feel sorry for Modbury Jets. They can really now focus on the Friday night. There's still an opportunity to win the A-League NPL. But What a sensation this club's been. I mean, I was there, like I said, in that draw when they got drawed against Adelaide. They really believed that they could beat a side from the NPL side over there, and they've done it. So it's incredible.
Indeed. Well, they've worn many guises, have Melbourne Serbia, since they were founded in 1963. But tonight, potentially their proudest moment, as we see, they went down early, didn't they? Scamisi and McCabe combining, Archie Thompson.
Yeah, and look, we knew that those two were going to be the threat for Melbourne Serbia, and we wanted to know how important, well, how they can really turn their game around after going down so early. Are they going to go into their shells? They certainly didn't. They came out in that second half, and like you talked about, they're, I guess, getting to the round of 16. They hadn't really knocked off any big names. This was a real a big scout for them, and they're through to the round of 16. The way they did it, that was a beautiful delivery. Again, all the deliveries out in these wide areas from this Melbourne Serbia team were just outstanding. But both teams played their part, and unfortunately for the Jets, Melbourne Serbia stepped up in the penalty shootout, and there's Jusavi scores a winner.
And Neil, he was immense all night, but sent the wrong way. Again, the cruelty of the shootout, sent the wrong way for the decisive penalty. Melbourne Serbia, they won the XG count, just one less shot than the Modbury Jets, but they did get 3 more on target. The final third entries, Archie, I think that maybe tells the story of the game. Melbourne Serbia, well, they won the possession battle, but they clearly were able to just get in behind, get in towards that Jets defence and put pressure on them throughout the game.
Yeah, and I felt like when they lost a lot of their key players, Luka Ninkovic, like I said, I thought Ryan Brown was outstanding. Up in that forward line in extra time, it was just going to be about them defending, and they've been superb in the VPL here with their defensive record, and they showed it again tonight.
Well, we talked about the titles that Melbourne Serbia have taken over the years. They can now call themselves round of 16 participants, as we'll be back tomorrow with more action in the Australia Cup. The Central Coast Mariners travelling to face Heidelberg United, Brisbane Olympic Apia, NWS Spirit against Glenorchy on 10 play, followed by the draw for the round of 16 and the pathways through the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. It's going to be a huge day of football on 10 play. And well, Archie, I can just say maybe as we wrap up here from the home of the Matildas, good luck following that games that are taking place tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. But hey, it's the Australia Cup. Anything is possible.
Anything can happen. The words of Archie Thompson there. I've been Joey Lynch. Thank you so much for your company here on 10 Play.